had the mistrial called, and I need to have both of your reactions.
Obviously, we want to thank the jury for their great efforts that they've extended over this period of time. But we are somewhat disappointed that Melly is not walking out the door with us. That's all I can say for right now.
I don't really have much to add except to say that the jury did pay attention. We asked them to do a lot, and they hung in there and gave it its best effort, their best effort, and it's the most we could ask of them. So.
And what are your next steps as far as Melly is concerned? Are there going to be any efforts to try to get him out on bond?
We're not at liberty to discuss that at this point.
What are you at liberty to discuss? Can you tell us anything about next steps?
No.
Hi everyone, I'm your host, owner, and creator of The Mix. Welcome to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you to everyone for your support. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I need for you all to listen to this video. Yes, listen to it from beginning to end. Continue to engage in the comment section respectfully. Also, head on over to the community section. I have some polls going on. Vote, 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 vote. Again, thank you guys for your support. And let me jump right into the topic. Okay, everyone, as you can see what this video is going to be about. Yes, and let me dive right into it. Today is Sunday. Hope your Sunday is starting off great. It's early morning for me over here for your girl, The Mix. This Ynw Melly's case, I'm going to continue to bring updates regarding the outcome, and if the question is, will the state prosecutors retry this case again? Because based on my understanding and research, the prosecutors have the option. So it looks like this was a mistrial without prejudice, meaning that it can happen again, contingent on the prosecutors. So will they do this? Will they prosecute Ynw Melly again? I'm going to go ahead and share some screens with you all and head on over to my Twitter page to dive into a couple tweets and then go from there. And I will be sharing an article, like I said, with you guys. So, but this reminds me of Bill Cosby all over again. Yes, Mr. Bill Cosby, Philadelphia. His case initially, when it was tried, there was like a mistrial hung jury, and the state had the option to go through the process again, and they did. But mind you, you guys, the prosecutors have a budget because taxpayers, we are paying the prosecutors to prosecute cases. That's how it is in the criminal justice system. The state sees a crime, the prosecutor sees a crime, so that's like the government going against that alleged defendant. But our money, taxpayers' dollars, is paying for the courthouse, paying for the prosecutors, paying for law enforcement. I did a breakdown on this before. So basically, the prosecutors have budgets, you guys. They do. They have a budget annually on prosecutorial actions. So don't get it twisted. In that particular county, they have other cases to prosecute. So do they have the budget? Will they go ahead and prosecute Ynw Melly again? Will they? That's a question. Because obviously it seems like they can do it. It looks like this was a mistrial without prejudice, meaning that the prosecutors have that option. And based on what I've read, according to some news articles, it's likely that they may go ahead. But again, the money is coming from the taxpayers. I learned this in legal classes. For those who do not know, I do have a legal background. My classes were facilitated by judges and attorneys, and we went over this in a couple classes. I took constitutional law, criminal law, civil litigations, what else? Drafting legal documents, legal research, writing, and then the advanced part of legal research and writing and all of that. So I've learned to, when it comes to the prosecutors or the federal government, wherever it is from a state or federal level, when they're prosecuting cases, they have a budget. So you know who has the big up in this? It's the defense attorneys, because they have unlimited amount of resources to fight a case. But will Ynw Melly's, I'm quite sure his attorney came across, they are disappointed because, I mean, taking a case to trial is time consuming. Do you all know that's time? That's why it costs so much. When you litigate a case, when you take it to trial, whether it be civil or criminal, the price go up. it goes up. I'm telling you guys from experience, from skill set, and just being in this industry and being in that space when it comes to attorneys and judges. I'm telling you, the price goes up when you're taking a case to trial. So, and then also you got to think about judges have lives, prosecutors have lives, and also the defense attorneys. They have vacations, they have kids, they have families. Sometimes these cases could just drain them, especially when they take it to trial. So this is something to be determined, TBD, if the prosecutors will likely move forward with prosecuting the case again. Okay, let me go ahead and share this article, I came across. Okay, you guys, this is from yahoonews.com. You can go ahead and head on over to this online news website. It was posted on July 22nd, and you can read it at your leisure. I'm just going to go over some excerpts of this article. Murder trial of rapper Ynw Melly ends in mistrial after jury deadlocks. Retrial likely. See, it says likely. Remember, I stated in previous videos when it says likely, probably, those are like trigger words to not give you an actual answer. So it's like up in the air. Fort Lauderdale, a deadlocked jury prompts a mistrial Saturday in the South Florida trial of rapper Ynw Melly on charges that he murdered two of his friends 5 years ago. The 12-member panel could not reach unanimous verdict after 3 days of deliberations. Broward County prosecutors who had been seeking the death penalty will likely choose to retry the case with a new jury. A unanimous verdict is required to convict or acquit a defendant. Broward Circuit Judge John Murphy twice asked the jurors to keep deliberating after they said they were deadlocked, but relented after they came back a third time. Okay. Prosecutors say Ynw Melly, whose legal name is Jamal Demons, S. Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas Jr., while they were all inside a Jeep. Williams and Thomas were both part of the YNW collective, known respectfully as YN Sack Chaser and YN Juvie. Prosecutors said the S was part of a gang action, while defense attorney said that claim lacks credibility because Demons and the victim were close friends. Wow. Okay, so this is bringing more light and more details if, this article is, if it's truly accurate. So the prosecutors painted the picture that this was gang related when they're all friends. So how could that be that it's gang related? That's a good question. His defense attorneys were on top of this because if they're all friends, it's not gang related. They're actual friends or buddies, and things do happen, not excusing any type of wrongdoing or ill actions towards anyone. But if you're in a music group or under the same label, you create music and conflict happens, that's not a gang. You're just doing business together and something goes wrong in terms of communication, in terms of probably somebody hating on one another, in terms of something, and like I stated before, you guys, I didn't follow this case verbatim, day to day. No, I did not. I just caught clips here and there. But one thing I can say, his attorneys, like I said before in previous videos, very impressive, very impressive. And I was like, wow, if he did this, which everybody is saying based on the blogs and media reports and internet streets, as you want to call it, if Jamal did this, Ynw Melly, he might get off. He might get off because his attorneys are very skilled for that courtroom. They are very skilled to be going to trial. Very impressive. Okay, the article further cites, according to prosecutors, Demons, Williams, and Thomas were riding in a Jeep driven by Cortland Henry, known as YNW Bortland, after a recording session in Fort Lauderdale. They say Demons fatally as Williams and Thomas. Henry is charged as an accomplice in the case and will be tried separately. After deleting Williams and Thomas, prosecutors said Demons and Henry drove the bodies to an area near the Everglades where they pow at the back and passenger sides of Henry's Jeep from the outside to make it look like Williams and Thomas had been the victims of a drive-by. Pow. But prosecutors say ballistic tests show the pair were shot from inside the Jeep. Defense attorneys focused on the fact that the The pow pow was never recovered. They also told jurors that Ynw Melly had no apparent motive for the crime. Ynw Melly had his breakout in 2017 and went to work with Kanye West on Mixed Personalities, which was released in 2019, a month before Demons 24 was arrested on charges. Okay, you guys, I actually went through the whole entire article, but this is yahoonews.com if you want to go ahead and read it at your leisure and come up with your own thought process and, your own analysis about what you think was, reported involving this case. But it goes back to also what I was stating before. All it takes is for one or two jurors to be doubtful to get a not guilty verdict or a mistrial. All it takes is one juror. That's all it takes. As you can see what's flashing across the screen right here. I came across this on Twitter. Ynw Melly's mom, and this is through Say Cheese, Ynw Melly's mom says out of 12 jurors, 9 said not guilty and 3 said he was guilty, which led to a mistrial. Wow. Now, if she said this is a telltale sign. It definitely is. Again, in criminal law, you guys, it is up to the state or prosecutors to prove if the defendant is guilty. It is up to the burden of proof rests on the state and the prosecutors. Also, jury selection plays a pivotal role and is very important, very critical. I'm very impressed, like I said, with his legal team because they seem skilled, poised. They are great at storytelling, creating and painting that narrative, and planting seeds of doubt in anyone's mind. I wasn't on a jury pool, but their swag, their flow, when I heard either one of his attorneys speaking at trial, I was just like, wow. That can lead to one or two jurors being like, no, these guys, and then they were personable with Ynw Melly while they were in court. So the jurors saw this interaction with the attorneys and their client. So, and that, again, all of this can plant some seeds of doubts along with, of course, the facts or the evidence that they are presenting in the case. Based on some of the trial content I came across that was broadcast on YouTube, I mean, his attorneys were very impressive. I hate to be repeating myself, but they were very impressive. And your girl, the Mix, has experience and could kind of have a prediction as to a good attorney or a bad attorney. And I say that respectfully, or I would say a skilled attorney and not so skilled attorney based off, just give me some information and let me do some research. Trust me, I can let you know if you have a decent attorney or not. Not to say that having a decent attorney will always, or the outcome will always come in your favor, but it will be a strong possibility. So you would rather have a strong possibility than a less than, strong possibility. And they also, his attorneys, Ynw Melly's attorneys, also seemed prepared. They fought and challenged a lot from what I came across that needed to be challenged in the courtroom. When it comes to evidence, the presentation, from what I understood, that the prosecutors and the defense team, they were going back and forth. Objecting this, that. And his attorney should do that. That's what you pay legal counsel for, to advocate on your behalf. Like I said, hats off to this attorney. And I say that respectfully, but I'm coming from a legal perspective, you guys, when it comes to this industry. This is chess, not checkers. And my heart goes out to the victims in this. I'm not for any type of abuse or harm or against anyone, recklessly or intentionally. I do believe in self-defense, though. I do believe in that. This is what you pay, like I said, attorneys to do. They were also personable, like I said, with their client. And I will, I'm going to do a little bit of digging on Ynw Melly's attorneys. Yes, I'm so locked in now. I love when there's legal counsel who could just flow. It kind of reminds me of Johnny Cochran too. But like I said, this is chess, not checkers. Let me go ahead and head on over to my Twitter page, you guys, so I can share some tweets with you all about this matter. As you can see here, according to Say Cheese Twitter page, it's being reported that Ynw Melly's mom says out of the 12 jurors, 9 said not guilty and 3 said he was guilty, which led to a mistrial. Wow. Okay, this is Twitter, you guys, my Twitter page. Ynw Melly. I can't wait to witness this beautiful moment. Ynw Melly and his mom hugging. Oh, another report, another Twitter page. Rap TV reports Ynw Melly's mom said 9 jurors voted not guilty. They must have got she must have got this from her son. 6 voted guilty. The other 6 voted not guilty, which led to a mistrial. I speak for everyone. Lock him up and free. Ooh, what? These tweets, I'm just going over some tweets. I thought Florida needs 8 to 12 to be decided. So if it was 9, he would be free. Okay. And this why I've been saying it's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove. If they can't prove it, he will be coming home. I agree. I agree. And then also too, having like I said, the jurors and having a skilled attorney that can present the case information and who can get in that courtroom at trial and advocate for his or her client tooth and nail. That's what it's about as well. Okay, yeah, I just was going over some tweets. Let me go to Say Cheese. This is funny. Prosecutors spinning a block and coming back with 12 white jurors for Ynw Melly case. Wow. I was wondering what the poll would show. I wonder if the state will refile because they were about to lose. Ynw Melly did nothing wrong. They just wasted his time in court. I hope he recovers from these false allegations. He's so adorable. Wow. People are, in their opinions, as they say, are like a-holes. Everyone has them, even mine. If y'all believe their story about a drive-by, but nothing adds up to it. Okay, you guys, there you have it. Looks like this is like a case of the scale of balance through the judicial system, you guys. That's what it is. This is what it is. This is how the system works. Even if a person is truly guilty or not. I'm coming from, like I said before, a legal perspective. So basically, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this respectfully, especially being in this space. The prosecutors seemed a little shady, inconsistent with their stories, their evidence, matching the narrative that they presented. As you can see with the Yahoo article, the prosecutors basically saying this is gang related. How can it be gang related if they're friends? So that's another thing. And again, like I said, it's just the inexperience to be, looks like this particular prosecutor, team of prosecutors were inexperienced to be prosecuting a case of this magnitude. And it's just my opinion. And I say that respectfully. Simply put, the prosecution was trash. They was trash because the jury obviously had doubts, even if it was 1 or 2 jurors. But according to alleged reports that Ynw Melly, his mom said it was 9-3. I'm not 100% sure how true that is. Based on report, other blogs, like I said, this is what was, this is what's being reported by Ynw Melly, mom, allegedly. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, you guys? Do you believe the prosecutors will likely retry this? That's a huge question. Like I said, if they do go that route, it's taxpayers' money and they have budgets. So will they be more effective the second time around? I don't know. Will it be the same prosecutors prosecuting the case? I don't know. It's time and effort and it's, jury selection. I don't know how you're going to get an unbiased jury when everybody has been watching this case. It was broadcast. So I'm quite sure the entire Broward County has been in tune and connected regardless of race. Most of them probably have. So this is going to be interesting. And as I stated before, jury selection matters. Your attorney's office what is it called? Let me go ahead on over to Google. It's called Juror Vendor. We learned this a lot in these legal classes, but let me go ahead and head over to Google and share one more screen with you guys. Okay, you guys, I selected the ABA, American Bar Association.org, how courts work, selecting a jury. Juries of 6 to 12 persons are selected from the jury pool. The size of jury varies from state to state and depends to some extent on the type of case and trial. Let's go to criminal. Okay. I want to go down here to preemptory challenge. In addition to challenges for cause, each lawyer has a specific number of Tory challenges. These challenges permits a lawyer to excuse a potential juror without stating a cause. In effect, without stating cause. In effect, they allow a lawyer to dismiss a juror because of a belief that the juror will not serve the best interest of the client. These challenges are limited to a certain number determined by the kind of lawsuit being tried. They can't be used to discriminate on the basis of race or sex. When both parties have agreed upon a juror, the jurors are sworn in to try the case by the court clerk. Those not selected are excused. Once in panel, the juror's role is to listen to the evidence consciously and not draw premature conclusions. They are instructed by the judge not to discuss the case with others or each other until deliberations. They generally do not have the right to ask questions of witnesses, but some judges permit jurors to submit written questions for the judge and lawyers to consider. The lawyers have a right to object to the questions just as they do to questions posed by lawyers during the trial. If appropriate, the questions may be asked. Okay, you guys, this is what I wanted to bring your attention to. When a jury is needed for a trial, the group of qualified jurors is taken to the courtroom where the trial will take place. The judge and the attorneys then ask the potential jurors questions to determine their suitability to serve on the jury, a process called voir dire. I can't pronounce that, but I think they say that's Latin, but that's the terminology they use, and that's the questionnaire voir dire, jury voir dire. So, and that's the questionnaires the jury has to review and answer, and that starts the beginning of the potential, jury selection. So, yeah. Okay, you guys. So there you have it. There you have it. Hopefully, I did not keep you all long. If you're interested in supporting the mix, go ahead and check out my links to my Cash App and to my Zelle in the description section. And that's for content enhancement creation. So if you're interested in donating, all donation go towards content enhancement creation for my channel, The Mix. I thank you guys for supporting The Mix. But let's get the discussion going in the comment section. I encourage everyone, chime in. Let me know your thoughts. Let's be respectful towards one another. But like this video, share this video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.